About 350 primary school teachers picketed on Portsmouth Drive last night after a New Zealand Educational Institute meeting. Deputy Chairwoman of the union in Otago, Phillips, joins us tonight to explain the issues. Good evening, Lee.
Good evening.
Why were primary school teachers picketing yesterday?
We didn't really think of it as picketing, we were thinking of educating the public. We had been at a paid union meeting and we took the opportunity to go out into Portsmouth Drive with our ideas and make sure the public found out about the issues in education and primary teachers in particular. What
was on the agenda at the meeting yesterday?
The first thing on the agenda was talking about our primary teachers collective agreement, which has expired and is up for renegotiation. And it was a chance for us to tell teachers as to what was happening and what we needed to talk about at the meeting. We also discussed a lot of the other issues in education at the moment, such as overpay, which is such a major issue, and charter schools and the things that are happening in Christchurch and other places in the country.
The primary teachers, as you've just said, are negotiating a collective agreement at the moment. What are the issues there?
There's a couple of main issues there. We've been trying to organise career pathways for primary teachers in the classroom. Rather than becoming principals or deputy principals, teachers in the classroom would like to stay there, but they want to have some form of career pathway. The secondary teachers have that, and the primary principals have just gained that, and the secondary principals have it. So we're the only area that doesn't have that. A couple of other issues that we're also interested in. Some of our teachers are what we have a salary cap, people who have trained and have less qualifications academically than others, and they're stuck on a salary cap as well, and we feel that that's unfair if we're doing the same job in the classroom for the same ability.
And how has overpay affected primary teachers?
Well, overpay has affected virtually every teacher, not necessarily on their own pay, but in every school in New Zealand. We've seen our support staff worked long hours, all the issues that are involved in that. There are also a lot of primary teachers who have been affected as well, because if you change your job, if you do a part-time job, whenever there's any change, it seems to affect something in overpay. So we're telling all teachers and all people in education to make sure they check their pay once a fortnight to make sure that it is correct, because something that was right last week may not be right next week.
And the government has today announced a support package to help schools deal with overpay issues. What are your thoughts on it? It's only $6 million.
It is only $6 million, and NZEI is pleased that the government is starting to acknowledge that there is an issue, but we feel it's just a small interim package that can help things out. Somebody costed it out, it was like 2.5 hours per school per week, and that's a very small amount. I was explaining to you before in the break that one of the schools spent an hour and a half on the phone waiting to speak to someone to be told they couldn't help them with that problem. So that's time that someone cannot be doing other jobs. So a lot of teachers have been involved and a lot of schools are being involved. It's a major issue.
And tell us about the global education reform movement, and I understand that there are some concerns surrounding that.
There are some major concerns. It's been identified as happening throughout the world, and we call it by the initials GERM. And the reason is that every time something comes in, another thing comes in to do it. If you were looking at education in New Zealand, we started out with the national standards, and then we're going to further on with the charter schools and the other issues that are happening. We've looked at places around the world, and we can see that it's going to come down to the fact they're going to be looking at data-based accountability and all the things that we don't value in our teaching. There's no chance for personalised learning anymore with our children. There's no chance for people to spend more time collaborating as teachers, and that's the way that we've always worked. And so we're very concerned that the government is going to keep following the path down that other countries have, and the issues are just going to get worse, and we're going to lose the great education system that we have had through earlier times. It's been acknowledged by many other countries in the world.
Does the NZEI have any plans to fight that?
The NZEI has a lot of plans to fight that. We really want to mobilise, first of all, our members so that they know what's going on, and we want to educate the public. We were very successful in educating the public about the class size issue, and that's part of what we're doing at the moment. We're trying to educate the public as to what's happening. There will be marches and things happening in Dunedin later in the month, so people will be able to look out for that and find out more about what's happening in education. We would like to keep this great system that we've got and see what we can do to improve it.
NZEI Deputy Chairwoman of the Union in Otago, Phillips, thanks so much for your time.
Thank you.